Hey, here's a wee website Ali's creating, and it's about encouraging people to be energy saving and conservation. In this, there's a carbon footprint calculator, and there's a wee game to play, right? Now, Ali's kind of mocked up the actual website, so it looks as though this is a question part. Obviously, no doubt there'll be question one there. There'll probably be another question five as well. And this is just saying this is the questions, and here's where the images are, and here's arrows you can go back and forward between questions. Now they're just basically asking you, and what you're going to see is a structured diagram, right? So they're basically asking you, well, can you write the navigation structure of this calculator? And it's pretty simple. All it is boxes that represent the pages and arrows that represent how the pages are linked. So that's all it is. So here we go. So we've got 3 pages, 3 boxes. You've got arrows linking one page to another. So you go question 2, you can go back. So that's why that arrow's there. Or you can go to the next question. Question 3, you can go back to question 2, you can go to question 4, and question 4 you can go back to question 3 and go to question 5. Right? So that's as simple as it needs to be. Boxes, they represent the pages, and arrows represent the navigation. And this is linear, so you go along a line. So it's like almost like a PowerPoint. If you then have a wee look, it's just asking you carbon footprint. So any of these wee items, even this wee screwdriver, right? From its design to the manufacturer to somebody going to the shop and picking it up to actually using it to then getting rid of it. Basically, it's called the carbon footprint because all of that, there's no doubt harmful emissions made when you're creating a pen. Even me driving to pick this up, then harmful emissions in my car. So basically the carbon footprint is just the overall emissions associated with the life of the product, right? And putting in a land refill, then that could give off harmful emissions if it's biodegrading, as they say, right? So it's basically the associated with a product. So all these, anything you buy, there'll be harmful emissions associated with it. Now, she's actually testing her website and notices the calculator that outputs something, but it's not the correct thing, right? And if you have a program that outputs something and you want to make sure it is correct by testing it and knowing what you're expecting. But if it is outputting and it's still not correct, then that's something called a logic error. Because syntax errors, so from the previous question, the program doesn't run at all. Logic error, it does run, but it might not be correct. And you could see that in the previous question. So a wee bit of logic there. So if I, instead of and, if I said or, then it would output something, but it wouldn't be correct. So that's logic. So this wee bit's your logic. So that's where we are with that question. If I go into this part, so this is a wee game you've probably played with cards, or you can buy specific cards. So you have them all face down, you select a card and flip it over. You then try and select another card and flip it over, and if they match, then that's them out the game. If they don't match, you put them back down, face down, trying to remember where the cards were, because you might the second time find the match for this one, right? So they're just really asking you programming constructs. So these are bits of code that can construct to make the program. So they're asking you, well, where can you see a selection's used and where can you see a repetition's used? Well, you're selecting the cards, so that's why you're clicking in tiles and making a selection. And you keep on repeating it until you get a match. So that's where your repetition is. Repeat turning tiles over until you find a match. So user clicking in tiles is a form of selection, and you just keep on repeating. So it might be a conditional loop with it, or it might be if tile is selected, then show image. It might be repeat until match is found, so that might be a conditional loop, but these are examples anyway. This one, a wee bit different. What they've got here is sticking with the conservation theme. They've got pictures, and pictures often tell you information easier than you reading it. So if you see that picture, no doubt you now know that's recycle. So they've given you a wee example of what it means. They're asking you just to make up your own wee settings, right? So first one, that's quite commonly used for power, right? So a lot of folk know that as power. So that might be, oh, you have to switch off the device if it's not in use, or put your device in standby. So that's the type of thing they're asking, your interpretation, but make it read like that. This one, a bit random, got a laptop with a bright screen. So obviously, again, it's conservation, so you have to kind of interpret that to be, bright screen. If you reduce the brightness, you save the power, which you do. So if you've got a phone that's running out of battery, reduce the brightness and you'll notice the battery lasts longer. So that's really what they're after here. Not too bad. That one's a bit trickier actually, trying to understand what they're talking about here. Right. Hallie has been collecting information to use on our website, and she thinks she might have broken this law. Well, she would do if she uses these images and she's not even got permission. Then she's broken the law, because get it without permission, you're breaking the Copyright Design and Patents Act. If she's copying and pasting pieces of text, well, that's called plagiarism, because if somebody else has written these words, you can't just copy and paste it. And if you do, you're committing plagiarism. So if she's done any of these, well, she has indeed broken it. And why would she use a network available as wireless as well as a mobile phone network? So obviously your wireless network's dedicated to know as many folk. If it's just in your own house, your telephone network's used by thousands. So it's faster download speed, right? So that's why she would want to download her PDF, just put it on the Wi-Fi network as well. Also, wireless network, if it's yours, cheaper using that than downloading using the mobile phone network, so you could probably mention the price as well. And that is question 19 finished.